Right, you've all been waiting for it. The day has finally arrived to add fish and more bigger corals to the saltwater aquarium that we set up. So it's currently first thing in the morning and the lights only just come on, and it ramps up with the sunrise and sunset. So that's why it's kind of dull at the moment. It doesn't look very great. Give it half an hour to an hour or so, everything will look miles better, and the mushroom has grown huge. It's already starting to come out. It gets even bigger than that. It looks, look, I'll cut back in a short while and it will look so much better. One thing I do need to do though is top up the water, because you can see there it's all sort of splashing in. And that's the first time I've had to do it now in like over a month. We've got this plastic cover over the top there and it just stops almost all evaporation. You can still get a little bit from the sort of reservoir at the back, but it holds it all in so well. So I'm going to top that up quickly. And that's just a case of turning on the tap here to fill the reservoir with water. There we go, pressure's coming through. And initially there is like quite a high ppm in the water, so you just let it sort of drain a bit, and when it drops down I can then fill up this. Well, not fill it up, I don't need that much, I only need a little bit, but yeah, then I can add it to the tank. ppm is almost down to 0. We've got some half decent flow coming out there as well. Happy with that. Only going to take about 10 minutes or so. So the tank is almost topped up. I'm just filling up a little bit more. It just needs a touch more. I just want to scrape the glass. It's not bad. There's just a slight little haze on it. And if I add in new things to the tank, I want it to be perfect. So that's just a nice quick job. Right, we're all clean, we're topped up. One more thing I want to do before we leave, and that is check the salinity levels of the water. It shouldn't actually be any different because the only evaporation that's taking place is pure water. The salt stays in the suspension, if you like. It doesn't evaporate. I'm sure you did that test at school when you like heat up salt water and then the water comes out and you're left with the salt in the bottom. So salinity shouldn't be wrong, but small amounts could have come out as drips or splashes from where it was slightly sort of below the outflow pipe, it's just spitting a little bit. So I'll just check that, obviously, before we put new inhabitants in. So the salinity is bang on 1.026, so we're ready to go. It looks perfect as well. The lights come on fully now, so let me show you how the corals are doing. We've even got a bit of macroalgae growing as well. So yeah, now the lights are on, look, it looks miles better. And look at the green mushroom. So it was just a big lump in the middle to start with. It'll actually go even wider than this as well over the next few hours, but it's spreading all over that rock, which is great. And look next to it, see, that's a little bit of brand new macroalgae there, and there's some in the background as well. All of it died off. There's just a couple of little bits that remained, and yeah, starting to grow back. So fingers crossed that goes nuts, I'd like it to. We've got a hermit crab down here, look, just sort of munching on something. The greeny sort of purple zoa, looking really nice and healthy. That's the little ones that sort of fell off and we stuck them back there. So yeah, they're doing well as well. They will actually come out a lot better than this. Obviously, they've just woken up. Do corals wake up? I don't know. And then there's the reddy orange zoas as well. They're smaller than the other ones, but yeah, I like them. They're sort of spreading and little tiny, tiny ones look growing out from the bottom as well. So all good there. And then we've got that beautiful red macroalgae. We put it higher up on the rock so it's closer to the light because it wasn't doing too great further down. The hermit crabs kept moving it around, but now it's lodged in there and it seems to be doing really good. It's still vibrant and it is definitely growing as well. Everything's a lot slower though than planted tanks, of course. So that's all looking perfect. Ready to go. It's so mature now. There's like copepods everywhere as well. Very hard to pick up on camera, of course, but I'm so looking forward now to go and getting some bigger pieces and some nice fish for this tank. I'm keeping it simple, remember, because this is supposed to be like a beginner guide, if you like, or a beginner follow along. I wouldn't call myself a guide. But yeah, we're gonna go back to Cadbury where I got all of the stuff from here initially from. Adam is there and we're gonna pick out some really nice pieces. I'm very excited actually. I'm here, I've arrived. Here is Adam.
Hello.
Complete expert. Expert? You are an expert.
Been in the trade for 25 years. Have I done marine for that time? Probably not, but obviously hobbyists, read all the books, done all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So been well over 11 years dabbling with on the trade side, and obviously display tanks, etc. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Well, everything we did last time is working absolutely perfectly. So I completely trust whatever we can get, can't get.
Yeah.
It's all down to you. Because obviously I'm in a new area now. I have done a saltwater tank before, but it was very basic with basically just macroalgae. So yeah, we're moving on to some more sort of complex stuff.
Yeah, a little bit more complex stuff, because you were asking about maybe some of the pulsing zinnias, some of the other types of things.
Yep.
Maybe possibly a hard coral too.
Oh, okay.
Dependent, but obviously the main thing you were saying, you were looking for some clowns. So
yeah, clowns as well, yes. So it's time to add some fish, I think. You know, it's been, what is it, 2 months, 2.5, 3 months maybe?
Possibly 3 months since you set it up. So yeah.
For freshwater, I just put them in the same day. Obviously, I put the correct stuff in and test and everything like that.
Yeah.
It always works out well for me, but this one I wanted to do it by the book, if you like, and just take my time with it. Like, if you're getting into saltwater, there's no need to rush it, is there? So
no, you have to take your time with saltwater to go through all the various different phases of the growth of the bacteria that you need to properly mature and run a marine tank well.
Yeah, it's like I've said before, I didn't actually realise that corals they're not plants, they're alive animals, and it's only recently I found that out, because I just viewed it as plants, like, so yeah, you've got to take your time a lot more, but we're there now.
So basically, with my sort of thing is the weird and wonderfuls, all the little small nano stuff, the unusual, weird, wonderful stuff you don't normally notice.
Yes.
Like the little miniature gobies.
I'm the same, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. Little Scott lobsters.
Don't get me wrong, a big, beautiful fish is amazing, but unless you've got an 8-foot saltwater, it's going to look odd in a smaller tank, I think. So
absolutely, yeah. So it's one of those things that, yeah, you have the big fish in the big tanks. When you're doing the smaller tanks, yeah, you want the small stuff, the things that you just kind of catch your eye suddenly and you go, what is that? Oh, wow, look at the colours on that. And that's what I live for when it comes to
And you've got to go close to see it. You've got to pay attention a bit more, Because mine's right next to my desk as well, so I can just sort of like look at it. Yeah, exactly, catching something out of my eye.
Of course.
Okay, so shall we decide on the fish first, do you think?
I would say do the fish first. I mean, obviously you're looking at clownfish.
Yeah, I think a good pair.
We've got some nice designers in at the moment, which
I
know you were sort of hinting at before.
I was. Yeah,
Yeah, there's quite a few nice little designers in here that you might be tempted by.
Which ones are you talking about?
So like the black snowflakes.
Oh, they look absolutely insane. So that's a male and a female?
That is a male and female. Bigger one is the female and the male was the smaller one, as happens with all clownfish with the pairing.
Oh, they can change, can't they? Is that right?
Yes. So they're basically all male to start off with, or whatever they are, and then the dominant one becomes the female, and then the basically the most dominant other one becomes the male.
Interesting.
It's basically, I always describe it as a queen, a king, and then you've got a load of princes that are just waiting in turn for
to become
possible,
king.
Or to be the queen.
So, of course.
Because technically it would be, if the queen was to die, then the king would then turn into the queen. And then the princes would then turn into be the king.
What a survival mechanism. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it basically it stops them. It means there's always the possible chance. So when one gets eaten, bang, they're going to breed again.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you think, and I definitely think, they look absolutely insanely cool.
They are. To the fact that once upon a time, obviously, it was just a few mist bars that were originally sort of spotted in amongst the other clownfish. And where back in the day when I was first doing it, that was like, oh no, it's a mist bar. And then next thing you know, you've got, this load of things that's completely mist-barred and messed up, like for instance, the Picassos, where they got that really crazy swirls and spots, and they're never the same.
So technically, that's all. These colour variants are defects from the original.
Technically, it's just defects that have gone. This could be cool if we do this, and then that's how they get all the various different line breeding, and then bam, you have. I can't even.
How many are there? Clowns.
Well, in here.
No. Would you say there's 100 clowns? Is there 50 clowns? Like types?
Types. Main ones. Boy, you put me on the spot now. About 8, maybe 9 possible different species of clown, but on variants of the of the actual Acellus. Loads. So there's in here we've got at least over 10 different colour
Yeah.
strains.
I suppose new ones would pop up all the time, technically.
Yeah, as they're going through the various different things, obviously they spot one, they go, that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Breed it with this one, see what we get, and then it's just a perpetual cycle of next one, next one, next one, next one, and then they go, oh, this is the lightning bolt thunderclap or something like that. And
just come up with a name.
Yeah.
These are cool as well. They're all cool.
So that's another Picasso, but that's the panda because it's got the markings around the eye, so it looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's got little
yes,
teardrops
I see
almost.
What you mean. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, someone's cotton onto that and gone. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. People were like that. Pandas are cute.
I'll definitely go with the snowflakes though. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's literally a snowflake in the middle.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay. Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. And then white coral. Now I know I want pulsing Xenia because is it Xenia?
Xenia. Yeah. It's the same as so many things in the fish world.
Just
you can
say
say
it
it all the
confidently.
same. Yeah, Xenia. I would say Xenia.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a nice little frag of Pulsing Xenia for you.
Awesome.
Nice little clump.
Yes, I did work very well with that before. That's one I had that, and it just went, and I loved that. And I just feel it's great.
And most people in the hobby would call it a weed.
I know, I hear that. But then I do that with my plants as well. I use the weeds, and I just think, you know, I just love that. So.
Well, once in a day we did have a whole clump of it over one side, and then the bubbles took over.
Oh,
so
are we doing bubbles?
I have managed to get one of the bubbles off the. Well, I haven't, I should say. My colleague has.
Fragged it off of here?
Basically, yeah, just managed to get one to cheekily move itself, so then we got it.
Of course, it's not a frag, is it? Because it's not attached to the rock. It moves.
It moves.
And multiplies in a group.
They tear themselves apart.
Yeah.
And there's then two.
Is there any particular reason why, say, so this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, this is like 6 or something, isn't it? Is there any particular reason why they all stay together rather than going anywhere they want?
Probably. Well, they do sometimes shift off.
Oh, they do?
But we tend to move them back from there because they are another creature that's trying to fight for space within the reef.
Yeah.
They are able to sting and they will keep corals, and you can see it here. You can see clearly the divide. The coral cannot get any closer to the bubbles because they are keeping them back by stinging them. It's the same with everything.
That's why there's that whole flat spot there, because that hard coral?
It's a soft coral.
Soft coral. Okay, I'm thinking it's hard because it's not moving, but I suppose there's more to it than that.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's clever.
It hasn't got it has got a sort of internal structure, but it hasn't got the main skeletal base that the stony SPS and LPS have.
Okay, cool. And then I'm thinking as well some more little critters and things like that as well, because I've only got a few at the moment, and then I'd like to, you know, have a little few more. Yeah,
I've got various different trochus snails, maybe some of the.
We'll save those as a surprise for the audience when I'm back at the studio.
Yeah.
But I'll let you pick like what you think would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then did you say possibly a hard coral as well, or
maybe a hard coral, maybe one of the more simpler ones?
Yes.
Possibly.
Simple is key.
Duncan's, I would say, is the.
No, my name's MD.
Yeah. No. But I don't know why they're called Duncan's, whether it was because a guy called Duncan originally found them.
Yeah,
but,
probably.
You've got the Duncan's coral. So it's, again, it looks similar to an anemone, but it's probably one of the easiest branching, I would say, LPS corals to start off with.
But they don't move?
No, they don't move.
Because they're on a frag?
They're on a frag, and they just get bigger. They branch.
Yeah.
And you can frag them, obviously, if you wanted to make more of them.
Yeah.
But eventually you should have a big old colony of them. And like I said, they are probably one of the easiest LPS to start with.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Large stony polyped.
Ah, that's what that means. I see.
Yes.
I know what it is, but I didn't know what it stood for. But yeah. I need to do some more sort of research on stuff like that, because I just go by what I hear, and then, you know, but I've not done like a deep dive into text or anything like that yet. Would these go on sand, or would they go on the
You would normally put them on the rock work.
Yeah.
I would probably say sort of middle zone.
Yeah.
Nice bit of flow, so the tentacles are undulating.
Yes.
But not where they've all blown over to one side. They don't like that. They like to be just
like how you've got it going on.
Yes. So
with the rest of them here.
I like the word undulating.
Yes.
Undulating.
Yep. I use that normally for when in geotechnics when I used to work. Don't worry, it's not important.
Yep. Oh,
and is it possible to have something that can go on the sand, even if it's just small?
So probably you're looking at maybe some of the plate corals, but not sure if I have any of the plate corals. I've got a big tongue coral, which is at the back there, but I would say that's probably maybe
too big.
The next thing to go for.
Yeah, okay. No,
yeah.
If it's not ready, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'll probably say go for a plate later on, because they can be a little bit more fussy.
Okay, so once it's even more bedded in, the fish have been in, the feeding, everything's getting rebalanced, and yeah.
You've got your nitrates and phosphates all steady, then it's maybe to go on to those ones.
Okay, all right, yeah, cool. Right, Adam's just going to feed for us. There he goes. He knows straight away. So this is moray eel?
It is a moray eel. It's a dragon moray eel.
Whoa. Look, he's like, come on. And what are you feeding him?
Lance fish.
Oh, yes.
So,
yeah.
But you have to be so quick, because he is literally out of the water for it in a second.
Whoa, bang. Very intelligent then, like the way that he knew. I mean, I know all fish know, but he was literally like waiting. Cool, and done. So how often would you have to feed a big fish like this?
Oh, obviously daily.
Daily.
You need to make sure, I mean, if you were to get some of the bigger foods before he comes out the top of the tank, because he will now, like a snake out the top of the water going, come on, give me my food.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he is obviously highly predatory. You can only keep him with very large fish.
It's very cool.
Oh yeah, very cool.
It's the sort of thing you'd have on its own, wouldn't you, as its own feature in like your pet saltwater moray eel. Cool.
Yeah, he's stunning.
Oh, we got another one down here. Is it the same, a moray eel again?
Another moray eel. This is the Tesla moray.
Just a different variant.
He's a bit. Oh yeah, he's still
much more gentle.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. Gone.
Adam was just saying they got a secondary set of jaws inside the jaws that come out, and that's where they got the idea from Alien movie from. See if we can see it. Still looking.
It's like the bit that pulls it in.
Yeah, that pulls it in, the grabber.
Pulls it in, yeah.
The grabber.
So it grabs hold of it, and then the secondary goes.
Yeah. God, his colours are lovely.
Yeah, amazing, aren't they?
It's like a water leopard. Okay, so we'll pick what we want and see you guys back at the studio. Okay, if I walk out and then pretend I'm walking back in again. Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm back. So we've got fish, we've got corals, we've got anemone, we've got one anemone, yeah, anemone, and critters as well. There's so much here. I do need to calm down though. Ooh. I do need to calm down though. I'm a little bit too excited. I just need to take my time with this next bit. Usually with freshwater, I just put everything in. It's normally fine because the car temperature is always the same temperature as the water. But in this instance, salt water, the differences in the water parameters could be quite a lot different actually, so I'm gonna drip it. Oh, look at all of this. We've got loads. So firstly, lid off. 1 pot, 2 pot, 3 pots, 4 pots. And then I'm just gonna place each bag, cut the top off first, the worst scissors ever. I'm just gonna place the bag in there, in that pot, like so. And then I can just slowly just add water in, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then it should all sort of balance out. Okay, good news, we're acclimated. We can put something in. I don't know what to start with. I'm not starting with the fish, they'll be last. I think I'm gonna start with some hermit crabs. And I have got 3 very cute, tiny, orange-legged hermit crabs that are probably gonna stay like that for a minute. Can they self-right? I don't know if they can, so I'm just gonna do it for them anyway. Tiny little things. Oh, turn over. And you, there we go. Oh, this one's come out already. Yeah, they're both coming out there. Just the middle one. Just taking his time, it's fine. And then next up, I've got this tiny little bit of red macroalgae. I'm just gonna put it down, let it go where it wants. Just chuck that in for free. It was just a little bit floating around and yeah, hopefully it just sort of grows and spreads. Look at this guy. A very cool looking crab, aren't they? I feel sorry for him having to lug that massive thing around, but don't seem to mind it. Right, next up, I'm gonna go with the pulsing Zania we've got there, and we've got the Duncan coral in there, and we've got the anemone in there. We'll save the anemone just before the clowns go in. And I think I want the Zania to go in this little spot here. If it can fit in that plug, yes it can, nicely. That'll come out and eventually sort of spread, I'm hoping, around that area. I had it up quite high in my previous tank and it did really well. There's not a ton of flow in that section or anything as well, so we should be good. Obviously that looks pants at the moment and it blends right in with the rock actually, but it's in like self-defense mode if you like, and give it a little bit and it will sort of come right out. And for the Duncan, I'm hoping it will slot nicely in this section here. There we go, it's kind of there, and then when it comes out you're going to see it all over the top there. Maybe that's not the final point, but Adam did say keep it sort of mid-level, not directly being blasted by flow. Not that there's a huge amount of flow. You know, I'll see how it goes there. I can move it if I need to. Okay, now for the anemone. Now, Adam assures me that you can use your fingertips to handle, but just don't get it on like thin, fleshy parts. Obviously, your fingers are a lot tougher, so the stings can't really penetrate or anything like that. So, yeah, it's only a little one, so I'll only have to use my fingertips. Hopefully place it in the middle section, right in the center will be a really good spot. Hopefully it stays there. You know, they walk, if you like, because they've got a foot, and they'll decide where they want to go. But hopefully they like that spot. And yeah, that'll be a great little area, and the clowns can host it in that middle. That'd be perfect. I probably won't go that way. Okay, so I'm going to try and place it on that section there. It's a beautiful looking thing. And hopefully it wants to grab hold. Oh, look at that. Please stay there. That'd be so good. Right, next up, the absolute stars. It's going to be the clowns. So these are snowflake clowns. They are classed as like a designer clown, and they are very expensive. So it's £200 for this pair. They're a good size, they're rare, they look amazing. That's about $250 for anyone wondering. But I just felt, considering there's going to be minimal stocking in here, I wanted something that was just like wow, and we've definitely got that. Let's put them in. The anemone is right out, looking really, really comfortable, and guess what? It's fully attached by its foot as well, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it wants to stay there. And our Halloween hermit crab has already taken residence right at the top there as well. Got up there fast, wow. Literally just put them down there like a few minutes ago. So it's now time to put the designer clowns in, and very keen to see how they behave, because they're an intelligent fish, much more like a clever cichlid. Remember, they've all been acclimated. Go on, no, you don't want to go on the bag. Go on then, yes, oh my goodness. Hello, hello, oh wow. There's like a blue outline on the snowflake area as well, which looks fantastic. Just chilling a little bit at the moment, getting a little bit comfortable. I guess they feel sort of safe down there. I bet you it's going to be no time before they're swimming around the tank, completely making it their own. I mean, I want to see them host in the anemone, please. That would be so cool. I mean, it should happen, shouldn't it? They are such a cool looking fish. Look at that snowflake, look, right in the middle. Perfect. Got like the orange sort of beak or lips. I'm going to say lips to them as well. Yeah, so it's been about 20 minutes now. The Duncan coral starting to come out. The anemone is just happy as Larry, whoever Larry is. And the pulsing Xenia is just starting to show its little tips. It goes much bigger than that when it gets comfortable though. We'll just give it all a little bit more time and it should be looking brilliant. So it's now been a couple of days since we put everything in, and you know what? There's been quite a bit of action actually. So we'll start with the best news. The fish are doing great. They are both there. They just stay together at all times, which is cool. Second thing, the anemone stayed in the middle. It was over a little bit, but it's found a nice little spot there. And hopefully you can see just underneath, its foot has latched right on into that corner, and it's looking really, really healthy and good. The pulsing Xenia is right out and pulsing, as you'd expect. And the Duncan seems completely happy as well. Just gently sort of swaying in the flow. As is the anemone as well, which is what Adam said to me, just undulating, not flapping about, just gently moving. You might notice the green zoas, I had to move them because they were in that position on the rock right there, and because the anemone came across, it was just sort of touching ever so slightly or close to, and half of them were just retracted, and I thought, well, it's going to kill it if it stays there. So I had to break that off, and I've re-glued it there. So hopefully, it's just recovering, to be honest, because I've only just done it, but hopefully everything stays as it is, and that'll be perfect. I mean, obviously the anemone will grow as well, so stuff can change over time. So now, given that it has been a few days, I've already done some feeding to the fish. I actually got a really cool surprise when I did this, because I didn't know that the corals react as well to the foods. They love it, but so does the anemone. So I grab a cube of mysis shrimp and then cut it in half, or attempt to. This works a lot better when you've got a sharp knife. Oh. I then defrost said cube in some warm water. And I've only actually done this twice so far, but the fish seem to know already what's going on. I'm going to put it in the flow. Whee! I don't know why I said wee. There we go. Oh no, it's not mysis. It's actually, I've got a selection there, but it's still food for them. Look, there you go. Yeah, look at that. These guys, they're straight on it. They absolutely love it. So I sat here, I was watching them. I actually watched them the whole time until every last bit was gone. And then I went away and I came back, and I'll show you in a minute what actually happens for those of you that don't know with the anemone. Yeah, here it goes, look, it's happening. Can you see like the underside is sort of folding in on itself? And like the anemone is completely closing up. I thought I damaged it or it was hurt or something because I'd never seen it before. But they sort of catch everything in the water column and then pull tight and sort of squeeze it down into the middle, I guess, where the mouth is. I know that on the Duncans, you can sort of see a mouth in there somewhere. One of the snails just knocked it down. I'm gonna have to glue it in place, but yeah, it's okay at the moment. But look at that, how interesting is that? It's sort of turned itself inside out as a way of catching the food. Really amazing, like it's such a surprise to me. I know that other people, saltwater people watching this will be like, well, of course it does. I did not know it did that, so yeah, really cool to see, a nice surprise. So because this tank has a Duncan coral in it, which is an LPS coral, which stands for large polyp stony coral, I'm learning all this stuff as I go along, guys, so yeah. What that basically means, it requires a few different parameters to be slightly higher than if there was no LPS in there. Basically, the LPS uses up certain elements in the water to grow, and as it grows, it pulls it out of the water, and you have to dose for it if it's at the wrong level. So we're talking about calcium carbonate hardness, which is KH, even though it's a C for carbonate, I don't know, and magnesium. So if those levels are too low, the Duncan coral won't grow or can possibly die, I think, as well. I need to get a test kit for that because I don't have anything for that at all at the moment. But what I have got is my saltwater master test kit from API. I've been testing quite regularly actually because I'm a lot more nervous with this whole thing than I am with a planted tank. With a planted tank, I can just look at it and I can look at the fish and be like, something's not quite right, do a water test, you know, find out what the issue could be. But with this, I don't really know how clowns behave. Is their behavior good? Are they acting weird? I don't know yet. So like every day I've been testing the water quite a lot, sometimes twice. I think I'm overdoing it, but everything's been absolutely perfect each time. But yes, I'm a lot more nervous with it. But I suppose over time, it's just like with anything really. When I first got into planted tanks, I was pretty much the same. I was testing continuously, but everything seems to be absolutely perfect so far. So yeah, this has been absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have hoped for a better little setup. It's still just the start. I still want to add more stuff as time goes by. I'm really interested in a lot of the smaller critters and stuff, but like Adam said, let's just get these guys going first, the new corals, and then we can move on to a few more things as well. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again on the next update of the saltwater reef tank.